It's your opportunity to encounter the science, meet the people, and experience the impact of world-changing discovery at an upcoming open house with Beckman Institute. And here now, with a look at what you'll experience, we have Michael Fote and Kelly Halloran hanging out with us. Welcome to both of you. Okay, so you both are pretty smart here. We're some PhD candidates, so I'm feeling like we got this under control today. Tell me a little bit about what you guys do at the Beckman Institute.
Yeah, thank you for having us. So as you said, we're PhD candidates in mechanical engineering at the University of Illinois, and our work at the Beckman Institute is focused on the musculoskeletal system. So we all have musculoskeletal systems. It just means the bones and ligaments and tissues that make up our bodies, and they help us move and they protect our organs. And so our lab, the Tissue Biomechanics Lab, works to understand injuries to the musculoskeletal system. So whether that's breaking a bone or spraining your ankle or tearing a ligament, with the hope that if we can understand what causes these injuries, we can work to prevent and treat them.
Very good. Okay, so after your time here at the U of I, what are your all's plans? What are you gonna do?
Yeah, so we have a lot of really cool projects happening now. We're hoping to continue to work on those.
Yeah. So,
tell me about the projects.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got, right now we've got an ongoing project looking at shoulder and rotator cuff injuries in wheelchair users. So they're actually 3 times more likely to injure their shoulder or rotator cuff. And that disproportionately affects them after sustaining that injury, because in order to rehab and stuff, you have to rest your shoulders, but they use their shoulders for getting around and all kinds of activities. So, so that's a big problem for them. And then also we've got a racehorse project where we're looking at how exercising young horses that are going to go on to become racehorses, how exercising them when they're young can actually prevent bone fractures later on.
Very cool. Those sound like some very interesting projects. You've got some demos here because we do have an open house coming up at the Beckman Institute, and these are kind of some of the type of demos that they may experience if they come to the open house. So, but these are all specifically for what you guys are studying, right? With muscles and tissue and all of that. So start here on this side with the Eiffel Tower. What are we going to learn here?
So here we're going to learn that the Eiffel Tower actually kind of has a similar structure to bone, which might not sound, that might seem kind of strange at first, but the Eiffel Tower has these large beams that form the structure of it, kind of like our bone. So our bone on the outside, this outer shell, is actually called the cortical bone. And this is kind of what we think of when we think of a bone, right? That outer surface that we're looking at there. But actually inside, much like the Eiffel Tower, so the Eiffel Tower has some smaller beams here that are connecting those. So actually inside the bone, it's filled with something that looks like this. This is called trabecular bone, and it's a network of kind of small beams
it looks like a sponge.
Yeah, it's called spongy bone a lot of the time.
Okay.
And then here's an example of someone who has osteoporosis, what their trabecular bone may look like. And
a little less cartilage and stuff.
Yeah, just less bone total, and so it's weaker, and then you have a higher risk of fracture.
Okay. Now here we have no cartilage versus cartilage. What are we going to learn here?
Yeah, so when your bones come together, that's what we call joints. So we have elbow joints, knee joints, and then on these ends of the bone we have cartilage. And cartilage is really cool because it's very slippery. So without cartilage, I'll put an ice cube on this side of the ramp. You can see nothing much happens. It doesn't really move. And so there's that bone-on-bone contact that can get really rough.
Yes, and painful.
Yes, yes. And then with cartilage, we have a really smooth surface, and the ice can fall all the way down the ramp. And so,
you know, it may need a little extra help there.
Yeah, sometimes we all need a little extra help to move, right?
Yeah, but we get the gist of what you're trying to demonstrate here. So what is the fix, though, for that? Like, what is the significance of this demonstration? Like, can we fix it?
Yeah, so a lot of it is actually looking at preventative care. So how can we prevent the cartilage from starting to degrade? Because like you said, cartilage actually has no nerve endings, and so that's the reason why we can't feel our bones hitting each other when we walk, is because we have cartilage. So without it, we have a lot of joint pain.
Yes, which we are thankful for that cartilage.
Yes.
Okay, we've got some silly putty here that's going to represent what?
Yeah, so this represents our ligaments and tendons. So here we've got these yellow tissues here on the bone. These represent ligaments and tendons. So here we've got the tendon that lets us extend our knee, basically connecting our quadriceps to our lower leg that helps us extend our knee. And then we've got ligaments here that you can see on the outside. This would be the LCL and MCL, for example. And so those connect our bones to each other to help stabilize our joints and keep everything where we want it to be. And so here I'm using ciLiving to represent tendons and ligaments. It's got kind of a similar behavior to them, but it's a little more exaggerated, so it's easy to see. So if I pull very quickly on this ligament, it would actually snap. And so that would be like an ACL tear, for example.
Ooh.
You don't want that to happen.
No, absolutely not.
And then this is kind of going to be exaggerated, but if I pull more slowly on it, it actually stretches out. And, you know, you wouldn't want your ligaments to look like this necessarily. But,
No.
But you can see that it wasn't torn, and it would give it a chance to repair.
Get back together, heal up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys have a great opportunity for the community and families to come and experience a little bit of what's happening at the Beckman Institute. You guys are just like one little portion of it. So what's happening at your open house?
Yeah, so April 5th and 6th is the Beckman Open House. It's free to the public. The whole lobby of Beckman will be open with a lot of different demonstrations, and the MRI exhibit will be open. It'll be a chance for anyone of all ages to come and meet all the people that are doing work at Beckman.
Okay, and it's free, and it's going to be a great opportunity to come and get your science on.
Exactly.
Yes? Okay. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
All right, I feel smarter already, and if you want more details on the open house, we will have those for you posted on our website after today's show.